Hey, what is going on, everybody? Don Martino here from Extract Media. Today we're talking about HBO's The Last of Us, which is created by Neil Druckmann, who also created the original video game, and Craig Mazin, who created the show Chernobyl. I am a huge fan of these video games, though. I can play them for hours on end. There is not a lot of games that can do that for me, but this is one of them. But when it comes to video game adaptations, the majority of them haven't been all that great. The company Naughty Dog, who made the Last of Us games, are also the company behind Uncharted, and the movie that we got for that, well, not exactly what I would call riveting. I was hesitant on how I was gonna do this actual review of this episode because I do want people who haven't watched or played the games at all to be able to see the series. And I mean, I really want people to watch this show. So I'm gonna decide to do non-spoiler this time around. For each episode coming after this one, I will do spoiler in-depth detail reviews or thoughts. I'm happy to report that The Last of Us is perfection. This show is amazing. This is actually the greatest first episode of any show I've ever seen. That doesn't mean the rest of the show is going to turn out to be that way, but I had such an amazing time with this episode. Even knowing what was going to happen, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. It was really insane to feel that, even though it was like, wow, I know what's coming, but for some reason, this show has me very riveted. It's just that well done. Craig Mazin directs this first episode extremely well. You can tell there's an actual appreciation for the source material. Anything that got cut out was done because it was unnecessary for TV. Everything that was added to it was actually elevating the material at hand. Pedro Pascal's playing our main protagonist here, Joel, and Joel is really an important character to nail, and I think that Pedro Pascal did it magnificently. This episode requires a lot out of Pedro Pascal as an actor. It's a very demanding job just to nail this first episode. He has to show a lot of range, and I think he just did that so perfectly. By the time I made the adjustment in my head that Pedro Pascal was going to be taking over the character of Joel, he really just kind of got sucked into that role for me anyway. I really didn't recognize Pedro Pascal anymore. I was just watching Joel, and that was great to see, and it's a huge testament to the work that he did in this episode, honestly. Bella Ramsey is playing Ellie, and I haven't had that time with her. I gotta say, I don't have any complaints about her performance. I think she's doing a very serviceable job in this episode for the time that she has. I need more time to really fall in love with that character the way that I did in the game, and I just don't have it yet. Gabriel Luna as Tommy, I think, just immediately captures what Tommy is supposed to be. He is great opposite Pedro Pascal's Joel. I love the relationship that was set up between the two of them here. You understand it almost immediately. Anna Torv in the role of Tess is great. I mean, I couldn't have thought of it any better. I thought that she just nailed Tess so well. Everything that Tess needs in her characteristics, Anna Torv brings. It's a completely different look for Tess, but it doesn't really matter, honestly, when the content that you're being shown is so good and it's so well performed and it's getting all the characteristics down. It's all you really need. I do think we have a new breakout star here in Nico Parker, who did a phenomenal job playing Sarah in this episode. I mean, my gosh, did she get that role down to a T. I loved everything she brought to it. There were additional characteristics that she had to bring that I thought were just handled very well by the actress. I mean, Nico Parker is somebody to look out for sure. Merle Dandridge plays Marlene in the video game, so she's playing her here, and yeah, I think she's doing fantastic work there, obviously, because she is the one that originated the character. It's a really nice and welcome carry over for sure. Guys, if you haven't seen HBO's The Last of Us yet, I highly recommend this first episode, whether you played the game or not. I mean, I genuinely think it's perfect. I couldn't think of any better way to do this. They adapted everything so well. It's emotional, it's tension filled, it's so suspenseful. I highly recommend you watch this show. As of right now with this, you have no complaints from me. I think that this is just perfection. I couldn't think of a better case scenario for an adaptation of The Last of Us, honestly. You clearly got guys behind it that are understanding of the game and understand what we all loved about the game. All right, guys, like I said, this is going to be kind of my pitch to other people to watch the show if they haven't played the game. And even if you have played the game, please watch the show. So no spoilers here, as I mentioned before, but in the subsequent weeks, we will be doing spoilers, so be prepared for that. I hope you are all caught up with The Last of Us by then. I beg you to watch this show. If you are into post-apocalyptic type worlds, which is really what this all does here, I mean, but it's got a very real human story behind it, I recommend this show for you if you're into that sort of thing. All right, guys, before I get out of here, please do me a favor, hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit that bell for notifications. Once again, I'm Don Martino, and I will talk to you guys later.